Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel, lovely people. Can you read me? Like an emoji, how they do it. Like, I am obsessed with cat's eye at the moment. Guys, it's so polluted. Like, you have no idea how much pollution there is. Like, when I wake up every single morning and I step outside of my room, it's like all you can smell is, like, when a wire burns, there's this distinct smell that comes when it's burning, and that's what I smell every single morning. What is going on? Anyways, yeah, welcome back to Let's Get Personal With Me series. Yeah, it's been a while since I posted that last video. I'm just going to waste time today by chitter-chattering and telling about my house, saying this, saying that, talking about my dogs, and yada yada yada. No, I think I'm just going to jump straight into today's video without any further ado. So let's go. As the title of the video suggests, it is just that. So the year was, what was the year? When did I start in my first job? Was it 2022 or 2021? No, it was 2022, and I think it was July. So in July, I started my very first job, July 2022. So I didn't really want to do that job, but I didn't really have any other offers at the moment on the table, and I was doing my diploma program from this college. So I specialize in marketing and advertising. So I was getting a job that was very operational and not into the mainline advertising. So even though I didn't want to do that either, like, I just did that program just to make my parents happy, just to make my mother happy in particular. I didn't really want to do that either, but turned out it was the best experience of my life. Like, the amounts of fun that I had in that college, like, that was the time when I lived my college life, because when I was doing my graduation, it was very boring, it was very stressful and whatnot. So that was never really a good college experience that people talk about, that people kind of showcase, idealize what they say. Like, people always say, like, even my parents used to say, like, this is the best time of your life, it's not going to come back, yada yada. I'm like, okay, so I'll be suffering the entire life of mine. Thank you for saying that. Okay, I just have like 3 years of freedom, and after that, oh my god, there goes my freedom. It shouldn't work like that. It does not work like that. So yeah, I started doing the job in July, and I went there. I was in operations. I wasn't like in creative or copywriting or that sort of thing. I wanted to do something creative, obviously, but they put me in operations, which was like, okay. So I was very pissed doing that. It's like killing my soul, just like I am at the moment with my current job. But that is unrelated. I'm diverting again. It's like, you know what, talking to me, it's all like haywire. Like, one thought is coming from here, one thought is coming from here, one thought is coming from here. It's like no one straight direction, is it? That will just mess up with my brain structure.
Eventually.
But yeah, anyways, so it was my first job, and let's name the manager Karen 1. We'll call her Karen 1. So Karen 1 was my manager, but when I joined, she wasn't. There was this another person who was my manager, and she was working from home, but she quit because of something, personal issues, and Karen 1 was promoted to the manager of the whole team. So she was my direct manager. And that pretty much happened so quickly the moment after I joined, the hierarchical change and whatnot. So Karen 1, as much as I can see and try to put things in her perspective, I still don't get it. The way she used to react, or the way she used to comment, the way she used to behave. She was like that just with me. I don't even know how to explain it. Just because I wasn't like buddy with her, because she was my manager. I was like on the most junior level in that company. I was like a junior executive. And she was a social media manager. So she used to treat me like shit and bully me every now and then by commenting about my appearance, by commenting about my eyes, by commenting about whatever I was wearing or whatnot, or if I'm wearing makeup or not. She used to comment about all of that just because I wasn't her buddy. Because I used to keep my distance from her because I was just like that. You know, I am a huge introvert and I don't really gel up with people that quickly, especially when I have just like met them. Like, you should have a professional boundary as a manager with your subordinate. Not just like you have to be like buddies, like going out for drinks and doing that, telling about your family, telling every little detail about yourself. No, I don't think things work like that, but it used to in that particular company. So Karen 1 and Karen 2, so Karen 1 became manager. Karen 2, let me give a bit of disclaimer, where she was the oldest of the bunch. Like, not in the terms of hierarchy, but in terms of age. She was 14 years older than I was. And see, I told Karen that, you know what, I have to be in the creative space, like writing copy and doing this and doing that. So she put me there. So Karen 2 was the person who was managing all of that. So I was directly under Karen 2, and Karen 1 and Karen 2, best buddies. Besties for life, BFFs. So they're like besties. So I was there. Might I add, Karen 2 never told me anything about the process that there is in the company. Never told me about anything. So I was just observing her and try to grab whatever that I could see in her work ethic or whatever. So I was just observing and learning from her just by doing that, because I didn't really used to talk that much. I was very nervous. Obviously, I was most of the time, literally most of the hours of the day, I used to be so anxious in that job because I was fucking scared. I was shitless because I knew, like, even like if I'm not doing anything, comments are going to come up. Somebody's going to say something. And that used to happen over and over again. And that's why I was scared. And then they used to think that, okay, why is she not talking to us? Why isn't she like buddies with us? So Karen 1, who recently got promoted, I don't even remember, honest to God, what exactly it was that happened that was a mess up. It was regarding mail that I didn't mail something, and I don't really have a proof that I didn't send some documentation to this client servicing guy who used to send the creatives to the client. So he was the middleman. We used to make the creatives, Karen 2 and me. Write the copies and get the creatives done by the art team. And the client servicing guy, he used to share it to the clients. So I think I just shared it with him without mailing it to him on Google Chat. That is very official, by the way. Just keep in mind. And something happened. I think he forgot, or like there was a mistake or something, and it slipped. And Karen 2, my oh my, when I say that she didn't tell me about any of the processes. So I was just working on the basis of what I was seeing and how she was doing things. So I was just observing that. And she was just working like that. She was sending over Google Teams or whatever, Google Chats, and not mailing and stuff. So I was also following her lead, basically. So that mess up happened. So Karen won. Newly turned manager, newly turned leader of the group, took us to this cabin. It was basically not really a cabin. It's more like a 4-seater conference room, which is not even a conference room. Like the office was like it's a full office, and then they just put like the glass rooms there, like with very thin walls, like people can hear everything. She took us there. She started borderline yelling at us, and that whole thing, I mean, it's very humiliating to be yelled at in front of people. The culture that I come from, it's very, very casual and normalized, apparently. I don't even get it how. I seriously don't. It's borderline pathetic and disgusting, but people do it. Like teachers yelling school children in front of the whole class. It's not normal. And then the same behavior repeats itself when you are in a fucking office. I mean, the place that I used to work at was no MNC, but it was a really high profile agency and was associated with the MNC. So it was a big deal. And then this kind of behavior happens. Like, I seriously don't get it. Like, who even promotes these people to managerial positions? Like, they should get some sort of a formal training on how to talk to people. Like, it's okay. You know what? I also understand where she was coming from because she was new at her job and everything. But, bro, you just turned manager, okay? You need to set an example for your juniors on how to be a good leader, how to lead a whole team, not just yell at people in front of the whole fucking office. That's no way to go, honestly. So that happened. And you know what? When I say that it wasn't even that big of a mistake, I really mean it. That it really wasn't. Because here's the thing. I know I have been working in quite a lot of agencies. I am associated with a very big agency. And nothing really is urgent until it's like urgent. Everyone says that this is urgent, that is urgent. And in this very first company that I was in, nothing really was urgent. There was no like, we were working 3 months in advance. So you can tell how the processes were, how fast the turnaround time was. So it was really efficient. The process was set, but there were a lot of loopholes on how to do even the menial tasks. I think she was just micromanaging at that point. But yeah, that mistake happened, but the client didn't know. Obviously, there was no escalation or anything. There was just like internal fuss over something that was this small. Which was, I was like, okay. And that, might I add, that entire day, I was literally shaking. You know, I come from a home where yelling, cussing, swearing was the only way people knew how to communicate. That was the only way. There was no other way, like a decent human being. So to face that and relive that all over again in my adult life, oh my, that really shattered my self-confidence. And you know, when I think I said it in the beginning that I kind of didn't really expect anything. Or what did I say exactly? That, you know, I was new. I didn't know about how things work in a corporate setting and stuff. So it was a huge cultural shock. And I don't know how people just act so casual and normal, like how parents act so casual and normal in our society, and then they get shocked that the kids are not liking the jobs and stuff. Because in the culture that I am from, parents are very involved in your day-to-day life and in your day-to-day major life decisions, even the small ones. Who am I kidding? Like, growing up, my parents used to decide everything, like what I'm wearing, what is my haircut, what is my hairstyle, how long my hair should be, and yeah, every little small thing. So it was like a lot of things that really happens in the society that I'm from. So career is obviously the major thing, another major life decision.
Later.
I don't even know. I was trying to make another point and then I just moved to this another point. So this is what happens when you're having a conversation with me, guys. So what was I saying again? I'm so sorry. Yeah, when I came to this job, I didn't really have that much expectations. Like, I didn't even want it to come from my heart. I was just there just for money, like everyone. like most other people. So I was doing the best that I could in an environment that was too technical, too operational for me, for a person like me. Because see, I am a very, well, how to put it? Like, I am not good at maths or science or these technical fields. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand any bloody thing about that. What I do understand is creativity, creative concepts, storytelling, yada, yada, yada. That's what I do understand. That is my forte. But to get a job, especially after putting 1 year of my life to this college and doing a degree in advertising and marketing communications, and to get a job in operations where I am doing content filtration on a platform, on a technical platform, on a tool, it was weird. It was like, what am I even doing here? Like, this is not my forte. Why am I like, I'm not going to utilize this skill probably ever in my life in the future. So I was kind of heartbroken. I was terrified, honestly. I was so scared when I started that job because there was a lot of expectations. There was a lot of people who were watching over me and seeing that, okay, if she will fail, or if she will leave, or if she won't continue, or blah, blah, blah. But I kind of didn't have any choice but to not continue it. So I had to. And then to have people like this, who's constantly there, commenting about every little thing that you're doing. And you know what? When she yelled at me for the first time, I practically froze. I remember that I was there physically, but mentally I was back at my house, at my childhood house where I grew up. I was that child again who was being yelled at, who was being cussed at, who was being traumatized again, basically. So I was very scared. Like, I was legit shaking. But here's the thing. What I learned after that experience, let's go to the positive ones as well, because we have talked about a lot of negative things. What I learned from that incident, that particular incident, is the value of self-respect. And you have to respect yourself enough to have the courage to stand up if someone is fucking yelling at you and making you feel less than. Stand up and walk out. If you cannot respect your fucking employees, the ones who are working for you, you don't deserve me. I'm sorry. I'll find another way. I'll do something else. I'll make money some other way. I'll figure something out, but not this. Nada. Na. You're not yelling at me again. So yeah, that's what I learned from that experience. It took me a while to learn that, by the way. It wasn't right after that. Like, incidents like these kept on happening over and over again. Like, I've changed 3 companies, 3 corporate jobs, each with different roles and each with different experiences and different people. And when I say I've had a lot, I literally mean it, that I've had a lot of experiences with a lot of different people, variety of humans. Some were nice, some were creepy, some were yelly, and some are always going to be my dear friends for probably the rest of my life. So it wasn't all bad. There was some good also. Okay, so moving on. So that was the story. I know is all over the place. It's pretty much haywire at this point. Just a bit of a disclaimer that this story wasn't really about villainizing anyone. So I was just sharing what happened to me. Rather it's about naming what is harmful. It's about understanding that intent does not erase impact, and how we speak to people, especially the ones who are setting their footing into the corporate world, who are very new, who are who are nervous and who are overwhelmed by everything that they are seeing, and probably facing a huge cultural shock right after coming from uni and doing this, especially in this culture that I am in, because here kids don't really work when they are in high schools. So that is a huge cultural shock when you start working your very first corporate job right after college. It can be very overwhelming. Some people do adopt to it very quickly and some people don't. It's like different things with different people. You know, we have to understand that people are different. Not everyone is same. We have to understand that, and then we have to accept this. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people don't really think about it, don't really try to put themselves in other people's shoes. We should try doing it, especially with things like this is the bare minimum, I feel like, in my opinion. So yeah, so this is a story about that. So yeah, that was it. That was the story. That was a rant. That was just what I wanted to talk about. So yeah, that was it. I think I'm just going to end the video over here. Let me know your thoughts about the story. I know it was a bit rumbly and all over the place. Apologies about that, but thank you for bearing with me, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye bye.